Utah's held its arms open to refugees for years. This morning, we're talking housing for those families. It's the latest interview in our series on the Utah housing crunch. More than 60,000 refugees live in Utah from places like Somalia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Syria, Iraq, Vietnam, the former Soviet Union, and Burma, just to name a few. Most live in Salt Lake City, where we know the housing crunch and inventory shortage is hitting hardest. So joining me now to take a closer look at refugee housing in Utah, Natalie Eldiri, the Executive Director of the International Rescue Committee here in Salt Lake City. Natalie, thanks so much for being here. An interesting topic, certainly, given the headlines in Afghanistan this morning.
Certainly.
So I understand the IRC, one of 2 resettlement agencies in Utah. Can we kind of start with the numbers? How many families are you working with right now? What's kind of a usual year for you?
Sure. So we're one of the 2 resettlement agencies. Catholic Community Services is the other one. Right now our numbers are lower than they have been in years prior, and so this year we'll end up resettling around just over 100 individuals for the state of Utah, just from the IRC, and typically CCS has about the same amounts that are coming in as well. So that's below our historic averages, well below.
And is that because of the pandemic or kind of world events?
It's a kind of confluence of a lot of different factors of kind of rebuilding the resettlement system from the pandemic and from the previous administration, where the numbers were typically lower, and now we're starting to step back up into those higher numbers overall.
Can we talk about the process? So when a refugee family comes to Utah, how do they access housing?
So the IRC, as a resettlement agency, our job and responsibility is to ensure that there is safe and secure and affordable housing for any family that's coming, and that work starts well before anybody arrives. So we work with over 40 different landlords, property management companies, individual homeowners, and create a really strong partnership with those entities, and then we're able to secure housing for people even before they set foot on the ground in Utah.
Got it. Interesting. So it sounds like a lot of your workload is really finding those physical spaces.
Yep, it is, and it goes well beyond just Salt Lake City proper. We're definitely looking at Salt Lake County into some different other surrounding areas, so that there's not so much of a concentration just in one area that can be challenging to the market overall.
Being with communities, refugees are coming from often a traumatic or scary, dangerous situations. I'm sure coming to a new place and being housed with people they might even know or can speak the same language as is important. What's that process like? It
certainly is important, but we try not to create a concentration of one refugee group in any part of the city. Cultural integration and acculturation overall is really important, and so we want our community members to welcome and embrace refugees, and then the same goes the other way for the refugee community that we're serving to integrate with the community and to become friends with their neighbors and coworkers and colleagues.
Can we transition now to refugees possibly coming now from Afghanistan, being evacuated right now? We know next to nothing about if refugees are coming. We know that they've been offered a welcome by Governor Cox. Can you add, where are we in that process? Is there space for these refugees if they come?
Yeah, there certainly is space, and of course we're really pleased to see the continued support of our administration here in Utah for refugees and refugee resettlement. It's important to recognize that Utah has historically welcomed around 1,000 refugees each year. We're not even close to that number right now. And so the refugees from Afghanistan and from other countries who would be coming in would be getting us back up to those historic levels that we've had in years past, where we have the capacity and infrastructure and programming to support all refugees that come and those that will be coming from Afghanistan as well.
That's great news. So there is the infrastructure to support refugees coming now.
Right. We have great partners between the state, Catholic Community Services, and IRC. We all work in close concert together, and of course with other entities and stakeholders all across the community.
For community members watching this morning, what's kind of the best ways that we can support our refugee community here?
Well, speaking of housing, if people have their own vacancies or rental units that they're willing to rent to refugees, to for sure contact us on those. Donations are always welcome, especially right now as we're preparing to receive Afghan refugees, and of course the other refugees, and our numbers are increasing. Monetary donations go a long way. Volunteers and in-kind donation drives are always welcome for much needed supplies for new arrivals.
Natalie, thank you so much. The IRC doing so much, and we'll make sure to link those resources on our website, abc4.com. We've been talking about the housing crunch all summer long, and you can find those previous interviews online as well. Natalie, thank you.
Thank you.